A bottom full of oysters.
And a gaping hole. It's gonna be some welding to be done.
And much more paintwork than we planned. They are just some of the marks that 30,000 miles have left on Luci. After touring New Zealand by campervan, it's high time to give Lucipara 2 some much needed tender loving care. Unstepping the masts is easier said than done.
So our mast didn't want to come off because there was rust here. So I removed all the rust and now making it beautiful again. And as you can see, there's still an original part. So we're getting new rigging, but it also means we have to take off the old ones, which means we have to take off the baggy wrinkles. So we got new rigging. I mounted the big ones, the long ones. They're a bit thicker, just to be sure, than the old ones. But yeah, after 15 years we just had to replace them. We already had replaced many individual ones, but now it's time to do them all. So let's mount them.
With the masts off, we can easily replace our broken masthead light.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
There are two major problems with this anchor chain. One, it is super rusty, as you can see, and the other one, it's too short. It has failed us at some very crucial moments, so it's time to replace it for a longer one and a better one.
Off to the recycling bin. We cleared the entire front cabin and now you see our anchor locker. And of course we need to expand the anchor locker to fit our longer new anchor chain. Boat builder Patrick helps us construct the larger anchor locker. The result looks great, but will it fit our new anchor chain when it arrives? Today's a big day. We're gonna haul out the boat. Always exciting. So we're gonna go to the boat lift over there, and the boat will be put on the hard, and we can do the underwater maintenance. There's a whole ecosystem under there. Unbelievable.
Our last haul out was 3 years ago, and we brushed off the remaining bit of anti-fouling before sailing to New Zealand. 5 months in a warm river did the rest.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you know,
It's never been so bad. Start our own oyster restaurant.
Take pictures all heavy, sweaty, that's what it is. He's on to
So how many wheelbarrows, Ivar?
This is 10. Is it a new record now?
Yes, very much so. 7 was the last.
Oh no, we beat the record by
Yeah.
3. Jeez.
taken off all the oysters. Next step, sanding.
We clearly waited too long with hauling out because the barnacles have grown through the layers of paint, and you can see now we have to clear it entirely, which is a lot of extra work.
While I'm still sanding, Ivar's doing something else.
Yes, well, we're putting heavy duty primer on the steel spots that I opened, and I love painting. It's so much better than grinding. Look how that's coming on. With our noses centimeters from the hull, we see how badly damaged the paint is. There's no way around it. We need to sand and paint the hull too. Bummer. I was removing rust here, but look at this. It's just very thick, and I just went right through. It's a big disappointment. Rusty hull like this. I mean, a steel boat has many benefits, but this is definitely not one of them. The good news is that we can repair it, so let's go. Kickaboo! So we now cut out all the bad stuff, the rusty parts, and the good news is that you can see here the 6mm steel plates are still in very, very good shape. So this is a good base to weld a new piece on. Welder Adam comes to the rescue.
With the hull fixed, painting the bottom comes into full swing.
I'm just doing the anti-fouling primer, and you see I'm covering it all up. It's lovely.
So new anti-fouling paint.
Thank you CJet for supplying us with copper-free anti-fouling.
So, this is always the nice part when you finally see some result of your work. So after sanding, cleaning, 2 layers of primer, this is now the 3rd and final layer of anti-fouling.
So according to the paint experts, we need a conversion layer to cover up the old one component paint system that we have on the hull, and to put on top of that a protective layer so that we can build the 2 component new paint system on. So I'm now mixing this 1-to-1 ultra lock stuff. Well, I hope it works. Let's find out.
It's so thin. Where is the paint going?
We're gonna put this on the hull as a primer for the new 2-pack paints.
So on the hull, not on your face?
Most of it is hopefully on the hull.
After the primer, it's time to put on several layers of blue.
So for painting the boot stripe that it's optically flat from a distance, we need to find a way to adjust for the angle here in the hull. And we just learned a little trick today with the measure app on the phone. You just keep it to 0, like this. Okay, now make a little mark right there, the corner. This is the best part.
Specialist Andrew applies anti-fouling to the propeller.
Anodes prevent electrical corrosion of the steel, provided they make contact with the seawater and the hull.
So we've cleaned all these anodes. Now we can check if they get in contact with the seawater and do their job by using the multimeter and measuring resistance.
Excellent.
So today is the day we're still on the heart, but our masts are getting back on.
Lucy looks ready. Are we done now?
Ivar, what are you doing?
Cleaning
Why?
the engine room. So we've had a rusty spot in the bathroom, and I just want to make sure that we don't have any other rusty spots elsewhere in the boat. So I first have to clean in order to see them better. That's easier said than done. Our search inside revealed some rusty spots, but luckily no holes. To be on the safe side, we clean and repaint the inside of the hull under the floor.
Here's the bathroom, newly painted floor. And you'll see outside I'm just doing that little piece there. Now these floorboards are all closed again, but underneath we also painted, so it's all nice and clean. In there, below there, everywhere. And you see that one, as we were working anyway, we're preparing this one to be painted as well. Now, Ivar is working back here. Ivar, what are you doing? Oh my god, this is why we're not sleeping in the back, because all the floorboards are out.
I'm painting the engine room, and the main challenge is basically to keep my balance, because without the floor it's very difficult to reach.
But look at these shiny colors, and not just the engine room where we sleep over there. as well, of course, because, you know, might as well do that too. So usually we sleep there, but it's a bit mess now and we can't really reach it. And over on the other side, here are the floorboards, by the way, that go around the engine. And of course on this side as well. Look at that. But hopefully today will be the last layer. Now, and this is a sort of working area, more floorboards. That's what I'm working on right now. And you see, this is where all the paint mixing happens. And where some other paint stuff is waiting. So these are our escape hatches. They're submarine quality, made out of steel, and they're more than 50 years old, which is all great, but there's only one downside. Every now and then we need to touch them up with some fresh paint, but as you can see, they're still going strong. The to-do list is getting shorter, so it's time to splash.
Today is the big splashing day. Exciting after 6 weeks.
So on schedule.
About 4 weeks behind schedule. But still we're very relieved. So hopefully everything is dry when we get in the water. Let's find out. We're floating, everything is dry. Very happy.
Our destination is over there, very short trip.
Lucy looks ready to sail again, but is she?
Our new anchor chain has finally arrived after 7 or 8 months of waiting.
So with these little markers, we're going to mark the chain every 10 meters so we know how much we put in. The new chain fits, which concludes our TLC. Lucy brought it safely all the way to New Zealand and deserved this big pat on the hull. She is in excellent shape for part 2 of our world trip in search of sustainable solutions. If you like this video
And want to see more? Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on social media, become our patron on Patreon, or subscribe to our email newsletter on our website.